this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Klim Karike Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video about the month of June. So today is officially June 1st. Now, Jupiter is no longer combust, which is great news for people who are Sagittarius or Pisces ascendant, but also wherever you have Sagittarius or Pisces in your chart, things will start moving forward again. This is good for finance, good for publishing, marketing, gurus, higher learning, education, many different things. But we also have to remember, starting June 1st, Mars will be entering Aries, which will create what is called a Papkatar Yoga. That's when on either side of the sign, we have malefics. So there's Saturn on one side and then Mars on the other side. Mars will be there until July 12th. And that's when it will enter Taurus. So this can create some challenges in the house where Pisces is in your chart. It can slow things down. It can create some obstacles, some health issues, depending on where it is. You can do the Bij mantra to Saturn or Mars to reduce the effects, or you can do Kaliman mantra, you can do Hanuman mantra. There's many different ways. But if you're always doing sadhana, then the planets won't affect you, or they won't affect you as much. There's always ups and downs in life, and it's not what happens, it's how you deal with it. Never let that deter you. There's always answers, especially if you know that that is coming. Now, Mars is currently at the Gandanta point in Aries. This can escalate the current wars around the world. What's good is Mars is no longer conjunct Rahu by sign. It makes it a little easier, and now it's in its own sign. But Mars will be in this point of challenge. The Gandanta point is a point of challenge until June 6th. Mars will be in Ashwini Nakshatra. This is ruled by Ketu. So this can be the most dangerous part when we talk about the war. It will also activate Ketu, which is in Virgo right now, in Hasta. This can also create some health issues, possible job cuts to laborers, or anyone who works with their hands must be cautious of accidents because Mars Ketu can cause that. Mars Ketu can also cause violent attacks. Mars is strong in its own sign, which is war. Saturn will also be aspecting Mars by the third aspect at this time in Purva Bhadrapada, which is the front legs of the funeral cot. Jupiter is aspecting Ketu, which can amplify these issues and can involve those in power, or can give positive results to workers like courage and ambition to pursue their goals. This is also good for astrologers, palm readers, or predictors of the future will be very busy. It's also good for athletes as Ashwini sports, especially running. It's good for real estate matters and markets as well. For everyone, time will speed up and things will start to move a lot faster than when Mars was in Pisces, when every action was more internal. Now it's time to get out there and to make moves. Now on June 6th, we have a new moon, which is in Rohini. And Rohini is a box cart. It carries a harvest. It's about cars. It's about the oxen, which is a symbol of fertility that carries the crops over long distances. So in modern day, it has to do with truckers, transport, the beauty industry, oil and gas, which can actually unfortunately go up. Artists, financial institutions, bars, restaurants will be very busy. Swimming pools will be very busy as well. Now, this is a favorite position of the moon, is being in Rohini. That's why the moon stays there longer than any other nakshatra. So it is very auspicious, and it's very auspicious to have Jupiter and Venus at the Janma Tara nakshatra, which is the nakshatra right before the moon. Some of the richest people in the world have Rohini placements, so this can actually make a lot of rich people even richer, but it can also bring abundance and wealth to your life depending on your chart. The Sun and Venus will be making a Kazami, which means that it's at the exact degree, and Mercury is there as well, and Mercury is combust. Jupiter will be in Kritika, which can cause some forest fires, because Kritika is ruled by Agni, the god of fire. Jupiter and Venus and Mercury together is Saraswati Yoga, the goddess of music and learning. And Kritika is all about learning to the highest level, like university level, or the highest level of spirituality, such as studying of the Vedas. Remember, Jupiter is the teacher of the Devatas, and Venus is the teacher of the Asuras, the demons, so the gods and the demons. So this is because Jupiter is sattvic and Venus is rajasic, which is passion at the lowest level. This is the battle of the dark and the light. This is the wisdom and materialism over lands, which is in Taurus. These are the wars of today which are happening that involve religion and the acquisition of material goods. So this is why both these planets do not get along. It can also create multiple partners, or lust, or many different women, or many different relationships. So that is just something to be careful of. But overall, it is very auspicious to have this moon here. Venus, Sun, and Moon will be at 22 degrees. So in this pada, the focus here is home and material security. Money comes through very short travels. So this brings a maternal side to this pada, but also can be excessively possessive or narrow-minded. So we have to be careful of this in relationships. Sometimes they can come into our lives at this time when it's Kazemi, but it feels like something is off. And we later see, only after the Kazemi turns into combustion, because as soon as it goes into the next 2 degrees further away, it becomes combustion, then we start to recognize what that is. It may look and sound good, but there's a key element missing. Or the person may be self-focused rather than on the relationship. Or an example is, say you're buying a possession and it looks so perfect in the ad, but then you go and see it and there's something wrong, or there's a scratch or something like that. That's how this can turn out, especially because we have so much action in Taurus, which is about material security, possessions, and family, which will be happening a lot during this month. But remember, possessiveness comes from insecurity. This can also be leaders and authority figures that suddenly get money from the people and keep it for themselves rather than distributing it or hiding it. Because this pada has the worst qualities of Rohini, which is unnecessary hoarding. So I was thinking that this could actually indicate a massive gain that comes in and it's hoarded because it's a rare event. It's the accumulation of wealth, and this could also be happening to the ultra rich. So remember that any money that comes to you out of nowhere, karmically, should be shared in some way. When you're working your job, that's fine. But if it just comes to you out of nowhere, you have to share it karmically. And then it'll bring you more abundance as well. So accidents can occur with vehicles because we have this Mars-Saturn aspect, but also everything is aspecting Scorpio right now, including Saturn. So we have Sun, Moon, Jupiter at that time. The Moon will be there. Mercury, Venus in Taurus. But then we also have Mars aspecting Scorpio, Rahu, and Saturn. Okay, so wherever Scorpio is in your chart, this is a huge transformation occurring. This is once in hundreds of years or thousands of years. I don't know. It's a very rare transit. And it's going to depend on your chart. It's going to depend on your karma. But this is definitely going to signal a change. It could signal a change of resources or shared resources or the accumulation of such, or money can come in unexpectedly, like inheritance through a death. It's something that you didn't work for that can come through. It can be uncovering secret information, like a cult, for example, or through some type of research that changes your life forever. There's a lot of events happening in this house, and this may seem drastic at first, but it's always for the better. For the world, this can be in regards to taxes, life and death situations, deaths, because it's aspecting by Mars until July, which is war. There could be earthquakes and events that shake the earth, massive amounts of water like flooding, tsunamis, the deepest parts of the ocean, because this is also aspected by Rahu and Pisces. These are both water signs. Sharp endings, the police, secrets uncovered, diseases like sexual, kidney, thyroid, the reproductive system, fields of research, surgeries on the rise or new ways of dealing with surgeries or even problems with surgeries. Now, on June 12th, Venus will be going into Gemini, and on the 14th, Mercury will be making an exact degree with the Sun when it enters Gemini, which is very auspicious for mercurial things like communication, contracts, travel, and it will be combust until August 31st. And that will also be good for Mercury because it'll be in its own sign and it's slowly inching away from the sun. The closer it is to the sun, the more problems we'll have with miscommunication, communication, contracts, and transport. Now, Mars will be going into Bharani Nakshatra on June 19th. This is when relationships can transform, especially those involving women or being attracted to women as well, because Mars is attraction and this is ruled by Venus. But this is a death and transformation and rebirth. This is destroying what was holding us back. This is Kali Ma that just comes in, takes everything away that is hindering you, okay? So with Venus combust, a lot of relationships are going through trying times. Partners may seem distant, or ego fights may be happening, or conflicts. And some may see some as being more self-serving, so changes must be made to bring them back together or to part. And this could be in business relationships as well, any type of relationships you may have. This could also be dealing with law, court matters as well. Now, on June 21st, we have the full moon. So an accumulation will be coming into Sagittarius, which is in Mula Nakshatra, with Sagittarius, the law, dharma, religion, science, truthfulness. And then this will be in Mula Nakshatra, which is getting to the root of things, the center of things, innermost core of things, healing through natural ways such as Ayurveda and using roots to heal, or herbs, things of that nature. It is about vaccines, which is not healing, and it's about medicine. This is also about investigation, because it's ruled by Ketu, into the unknown. Sun and Venus will be combust, and Mercury will be in Ardara. All these planets will be in Ardara in the 7th house, which is the storm god. So this is the teardrop, which creates events of sorrow, but is ultimately an unnecessary process. These are stormy events that may occur, but after there is a sense of renewal. It can create howling, winds, water, chaos, confusion. This can be in your relationships, in your communication, your authority figures, your government can be confused. Ultimately, this is an unexpected change that needs to happen. This can also deal with foreign nations, religion, the governments, leaders, and their partnerships in the matters, including war, because that is the 7th house in mundane astrology. So more outing of people will also happen during this time in the music industry, the entertainment industry, where we're seeing who people really are, because Saturn is for Vabhadarapada, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Saturn will be aspecting Mars in the 5th house from the 3rd, so communication and entertainment. K2 will be in the 10th at that time, so there could be a loss of workers or a major event that turns a loss of workers or loss of people from a major event. This can also be people turning towards more spirituality and spiritual methods. Rahu will be in the 4th house, signaling a weather disaster with water because it's in Pisces. Venus will be combust in Ardara, so this may be felt by those who are Taurus and Libra natives, and for everyone, whatever house that may be for you. But luckily, Jupiter is in Taurus, so it makes it a lot better for Taurus. On June 29th, we have Saturn turning retrograde until November 15th. So at the end of June, Saturn will be making an almost exact aspect. It's going to be within 3-4 degrees of Mars in Bharani Nakshatra, which will bring a karmic aspect to this. Some information that you have uncovered, which can bring a rise to conflict. Uncovering that someone wasn't really who you thought they were is very possible. This will depend on your chart. This can also include business partnerships, children, sexual relationships. Matters of war will escalate at this time and can cause many deaths and could be on the exact day. So that's a date to look out for. So that's just a little bit of what I see coming up in June. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one.